Have you ever wondered why you dream so big but move so slowly every single day? This story is about someone who felt exactly that way. His name was Jason. He was 28 years old, and he lived in a small apartment in Austin, Texas. Jason was ambitious in his mind. He had big plans, big dreams, and big ideas. Every night before sleeping, he imagined a better version of his life. He imagined success, confidence, and freedom. But every morning, reality felt heavier. His alarm rang at 7, but he hit snooze again and again. He told himself he would start tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week, next month, and then another year. Jason worked a basic office job that paid the bills but drained his energy. He was not bad at his job, just not excited about it. During lunch breaks, he watched videos about success, motivation, and self-improvement. He saved quotes and screenshots telling himself he was learning. Deep down, he knew he was avoiding action. When he came home, he felt tired even if the day was not that hard. He sat on the couch, scrolled on his phone, and told himself he deserved rest. The truth was, he was resting from a life he never really started. Friends around him were moving forward. Some started businesses, some changed careers. Some simply became more disciplined. Jason smiled for them, but inside he felt stuck. At night, the guilt arrived quietly. He thought about his potential and felt disappointed. He knew he was capable of more, but he could not understand why he was not moving. One evening after another wasted Saturday, Jason sat alone and asked himself a simple but painful question. Why do I keep dreaming but never doing? That question stayed with him longer than usual. It did not scare him. It made him uncomfortable. For the first time, he did not open his phone to escape the feeling. He sat there listening to his own thoughts. He realized something important. His problem was not lack of ambition. It was not lack of talent. It was comfort. He was too comfortable being unhappy. That night, Jason went to sleep with a strange mix of fear and hope. Something had shifted even if he did not fully understand it yet. The next week started like any other, but Jason felt different inside. He kept thinking about that word, comfort. He noticed how often he chose easy things. Easy mornings, easy evenings, easy excuses. One day after work, instead of going straight home, he stopped at a quiet coffee shop. He brought a notebook with him, something he had bought months ago but never used. He wrote at the top of the page, "What do I actually want?" At first, his mind went blank. Then slowly words came out. He wanted confidence. He wanted control over his time. He wanted to respect himself. As he wrote, he noticed something else. None of these goals required motivation. They required consistency. That realization hit him hard. Jason always waited to feel motivated. When motivation did not show up, he did nothing. That night, he decided to try something small. Not a big life change. Just one small promise. He promised himself to wake up at 7 the next morning and not hit snooze. That was it. No long workouts. No big plans. Just waking up. The next morning, the alarm rang and his hand moved toward the snooze button. His mind gave him reasons to stop. You are tired. It does not matter. One day will not change anything. But then he remembered the notebook. He remembered how disappointed he felt in himself. He sat up. It felt uncomfortable. Almost wrong. But also honest. That morning was quiet. He made his bed slowly, something he never cared about before. It felt strange but grounding. Over the next days, Jason repeated small actions. He woke up on time. He wrote for 10 minutes. He took short walks instead of scrolling. None of it was impressive. No one noticed. But he noticed. Something inside him started to trust him again. He still felt lazy sometimes. He still wanted to quit. But now he understood laziness better. It was not who he was. It was a habit he practiced for years, and habits he learned could be changed. Slowly, without drama, Jason began to move. Weeks passed, and Jason did not suddenly become a new person. He still had bad days. Some mornings were harder than others. But there was one clear difference. He stopped lying to himself. When he felt lazy, he did not call it rest. When he avoided work, he did not call it planning. He called things by their real names. That honesty gave him power. One evening, his manager announced a small project opportunity at work. In the past, Jason would have stayed quiet, afraid of extra responsibility. This time, his heart raced, but his hand went up. He did not feel ready. He just felt willing. The project was challenging. He made mistakes. He stayed late some nights. But for the first time in years, he felt engaged. He felt alive. Outside of work, Jason kept his routine simple. Wake up on time, write, move his body a little, learn one useful skill. He stopped chasing big motivation and focused on keeping promises to himself. The more promises he kept, the more confident he became. Friends started to notice small changes. He spoke differently. He stood differently. He said no more often, not in a rude way, but in an honest way. He valued his time now. One night, Jason looked back at his old notes and realized something powerful. His ambition never left him. It was always there. It was buried under fear and comfort. Action did not remove fear. It taught him how to move with it. Jason learned that laziness often hides deeper emotions. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of starting over. When he faced those fears through small actions, they lost control over him. He was still ambitious. He was no longer lazy by default. He was becoming intentional. That change did not happen overnight. It happened one choice at a time in moments no one else saw, and that made it real. A year later, Jason was still living in the same city, but his life felt different. Not perfect, just honest. He had grown into someone he respected. He took on bigger responsibilities at work and started planning a future he once only imagined. He still rested, but rest was a choice now, not an escape. When he felt tired, he listened to his body. When he felt lazy, he questioned his habits. Jason understood something simple but powerful. You do not need to destroy your old life to build a better one. You need to stop betraying yourself in small moments. He learned to listen, learn, and grow from his own behavior instead of running from it. Ambition without action is just a dream. Action without ambition is just work. But when you bring them together, even slowly, you create momentum. Jason never became someone else. He became himself without excuses. If you feel ambitious but lazy, let me be honest with you. You are not broken. You are just comfortable. And comfort is easy to leave when discomfort becomes meaningful. Start small. Keep promises. Pay attention to what you avoid. Growth does not shout. It whispers. And if you are willing to listen, learn, and grow, your life will begin to change in ways you never thought possible.